Alright, today we're going to be unboxing the Geissele Automatics Super Duty build kit in OD green. I do want to point out that these are a Brownells exclusive and you can't purchase these directly with Geissele or anyone else except for Brownells. Let's go ahead and get into it. So essentially what this is a Super Duty rifle minus the lower receiver portion. So in the box it's going to be a B5 Systems SOP mod stock in OD green. You're also going to get the Geissele Ultra Duty lower parts kit, and that is also in OD green. I'll go more over the specifics of each one of these things and kind of highlight the things that I feel need to be highlighted. Get a Geissele Super 42 buffer spring and an H2 buffer. The Geissele SSAE-X lightning bow trigger, the Geissele A22 grip in OD green, right there, and the Geissele Automatics OD green mil-spec buffer tube. And the best part of the whole thing, the Geissele complete Super Duty upper 16-inch in OD green. All right, let me get the box and everything out of the way, and we'll start going over more or less the features and specifics of everything that comes in the box. All right, got everything out of the way. So like I said, I'm more or less going to be going over the upper receiver in more detail and pretty much everything else in kind of minor detail, and discussing kind of the main features of each one of the different items that come in the box. So this is the complete Super Duty upper receiver. It's going to come with a 16-inch barrel. It's a cold hammer forged barrel, chrome lined, and features a phosphate coating. The muzzle end is going to be threaded 1/2x28, and it is going to come with the Surefire closed-tine flash hider. And because this is Geissele, the closed-tine flash hider is going to have that nano weapon coating that's featured on the bolt carrier group. And I'll go over the BCG when I get more towards the back end of the upper. The barrel is going to be cut in what Geissele just calls their Geissele profile barrel, and it features a Geissele length gas system. And it's also going to come with the super compact gas block with bomb-proof installation. So you can see on the bottom there, there's 2 set screws. And then on the inside right there, you can see the coiled roll pin. It is also going to feature a stainless steel gas tube, as you can see right there in the rail. The handguard here is going to be Geissele's Mark 16 handguard, and this is the 13.5-inch version, and it is also in OD green. And because this is a Super Duty, it is going to lock up via this aligning tab into the specific Super Duty upper receiver. And it's going to feature 2 captive bolts that go through the other side and are mated to the barrel nut. On the handguard, this is the newer version that features the steel QD cups. The color is kind of a copper color, very reminiscent of the copper color that you see on a lot of the Q style rifles or Honey Badger. The upper is going to be constructed of 7075 T6 aluminum and has a Type 3 hard coat anodized finish. The color is obviously a little bit different just because the aluminum grades are slightly different, and it features Picatinny across the top along with T markings right there, as well as on the handguard. All right, moving on into the bolt carrier group. This is going to come with Geissele's reliability enhanced bolt carrier group. Has the nano weapon coating, as you can see there, a Carpenter 158 plus forged bolt, S7 tool steel cam pin, and this is a directional cam pin, so it only goes in one way. The bolt as well as the carrier are both high pressure tested and magnetic particle inspected. Moving on over to the charging handle. This is Geissele's airborne charging handle. I do have a kind of a short video on this, more or less going over all the features of the airborne charging handle. This is an ambi charging handle constructed of aluminum and features a Type 3 hard coat anodized finish in OD green. All right, let's move on over to the buffer assembly. So not a whole lot going on here. This is a mil-spec size buffer tube assembly. It's constructed of 7075 T6 aluminum and features an OD green Type 3 hard coat anodized finish with a laser etched Geissele Automatics logo in the rear. And it does include your castle nut and end plate for installation. You're also going to get Geissele's Super 42 buffer spring. This is a coiled buffer spring. I have these in pretty much every single one of my AR builds. And it also comes with an H2 buffer. So a little bit heavier of a buffer and a little bit heavier of a spring. And for some reason, the Super 42 buffer spring has fixed any ejection pattern issues or extraction issues I've had with any of my ARs. Highly recommend getting one of these. If there's anything in this kit you get, I'd definitely recommend this. The B5 Systems SOP mod stock. So it's got QD cups both on the left and right, rubber butt pad, 2 battery compartments, and a pretty wide cheek weld on the side. Very nice stock, very easy to adjust as well. Here's a close-up of the A22 grip. Very nice grip texture on the sides here. Very reminiscent of the B5 Systems grip that they sell. A little bit less aggressive though. The grip texture is not as tall or prominent as the B5 grip. It's got the Geissele G on the side there. And this is a hollow grip. And the Geissele SSAEX lightning bow trigger. So this is fairly new. You used to not be able to get this as a standalone trigger. You pretty much had to buy a Super Duty rifle to get this trigger, but now they're selling it both with this parts kit as well as a standalone trigger you can buy. So it does come with some ALG Go Juice, and it does come with a slave pin for installation. So I'll go ahead and show you the profile of the trigger. It's kind of the best of both worlds. You get a curved trigger and slightly flat, so not as pronounced as your mil-spec and not as flat as some of the other Geissele offerings, but a very nice trigger. It features Geissele's nano weapon coating, and because this is a 2-stage trigger, you do have a very light second stage pull. So the total pull is 2.9 to 3.8 pounds, and the first stage is going to be 2 pounds to 2.5 pounds, while the second stage, very light, it comes in at 0.9 to 1.3 pounds. All right, and finally, the Geissele Ultra Duty lowered parts kit. So this is a complete lower parts kit, minus the trigger, of course, because you get the SSAEX trigger. When it comes to this, I'm just going to kind of highlight the areas of the package that I felt were notable or different from your standard mil-spec. So you do get the Ultra Precision 5-axis trigger guard in OD green. This is constructed of aluminum and has a Type 3 hard coat anodized finish. You also get the super configurable safety selector. This is an ambi safety. It features a short lever as well as a longer lever, and you can remove these and swap them, and they also sell different levers on their website, and that is in black. The magazine release button as well as the mag catch are a little bit different than standard mil-spec. So the button itself is going to be checkered, and the magazine catch is going to have the Geissele G on the side there. You're also going to get the maritime bolt catch bolt release. It's an extended paddle on the top side as well as on the bottom, and it is checkered on the faces. And lastly, as far as what's different in the Ultra Duty lowered parts kit are going to be your takedown and pivot pins. Those are checkered on the sides that you are removing, so it makes it a little bit easier to grab onto or push in when you're locking the upper to the lower. And those are also coated in kind of a slicker coating, very similar to the nano weapon coating. All right, if you guys have any questions on the Geissele Super Duty build kit, just drop a comment down below and I'll do my best to get back with you. Thank you all for watching.